Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Elite City Podcast. Today, we have special guests from the Stoned Cold Podcast, excuse me, Mr. Austin and Mr. Josh, and I don't know where you're from, so...
We're both from Kentucky.
Both from Kentucky. Very nice.
The accents will be a dead giveaway.
Yeah, honestly.
Both from Kentucky. Let's see. I've been to Kentucky twice.
Oh, bless your
It's
heart.
not a very fun place.
Oh, no, it was fun. I saw AFI there.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Anyways. Just a random thought of Kentucky.
I'm sure Josh is a great name, but I really wish your name was Steve, because then it would be the Stone to Cold Podcast with Steve and Austin.
Yeah.
I'm actually named after Stone Cold as well. That's where
Are
my
you?
name comes.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Incredible. That's badass. So how long have you guys been doing your thing?
I think it's around like 6 or 7 months now.
Cool.
I feel like.
Very cool. You guys do a heck of a job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're fans of wrestling. AEW fans, WWE, both. What are you?
Yeah, pretty much any promotion on my end, like down to the local indies and stuff like that. Just any kind of wrestling I can get.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for us?
I really wanted them to say no. I've never watched wrestling before in my life.
That would have been sick.
This is a cooking podcast.
It
I'm
could be
a
an
very
air
nervous
frying.
person.
I was
so
gonna
I was kind of scared that I was like going to come on here and forget that I'd watched any wrestling ever and just like have no wrestling knowledge anymore.
That'd be great. I would love that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I haven't watched wrestling until a couple days ago for like a month or two. So, yeah, they keep having me on.
Yeah. Hey, well, it's all good. We have a pay-per-view coming up tomorrow, actually.
What a great time for a pay-per-view.
I know, like, come on, Tony Khan. We know you have billions of dollars, but it's a little tight for everyone else this time of year.
It's like well, I've said it a million times. This is the one time of year where Tony Khan when people have a lot of time and money in between Christmas and New Year's.
Exactly.
That's when everyone has just a ton of free time and money just to go watch wrestling.
Yes. And it's going to be fun. And of course, we're going to watch it, but
yeah,
I don't know, it's just a dumb time. Like, couldn't wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
At least it's not New Year's Eve. They could have done it on New Year's Eve, which would have been terrible.
Well, I thought it was New Year's Eve for a bit, and I was like, who's going to do that?
Well, I hate New Year's, so I would have definitely done it. New Year's is awful. Never liked it.
You would have watched it if it was like on your birthday, like during your birthday party.
1,000%. I would have probably had people over to celebrate my birthday while watching wrestling. So yes,
that's a great birthday. It sounds like.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a time. So we're gonna do our preview show of the pay-per-view here, and before we get started, does anybody have any questions for us?
How are
you guys been going?
Working on 2 years. It's been like.
A year and it was like May, wasn't it?
Yeah, May
2021.
Yeah. That's when we started, and I don't know, it just
Biddy's
started.
Been here about a year almost now. It was January.
Yeah.
This January we added her when she went to the your first show was what, the LA ladder match you came on for after that, correct?
Yeah, because I was in LA, so I went and saw it. I actually, Saraya got me and my best friend tickets because my best friend knows Saraya. So name drop, but no.
My favorite part of that was there was a whole thing on the internet. You probably weren't reading the internet that day, but that day on the internet, there was a whole thing about how Saraya was inviting a bunch of people. And people were like, I bet it's Mercedes. It's going to be Mercedes. We're like, nah, it's Biddy.
100%. We know. And it's not Mercedes.
Yeah. It was me and my pregnant best friend.
There you go.
So a couple years. It's been fun. We enjoy it. So, without any further ado, let's get into this. The first one, really, we could skip over because it's a 20-man battle royal. to earn a shot at the TNT title. They didn't even announce who was in it.
I was going to say, who's even in it?
Nobody knows. I'm pretty sure they don't know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, this is a perfect chance, though, if they signed any of the former WWE talent that got released, their 90 days is up. I mean, you could have, what's his name, Ziggler in this, Mustafa Ali, Elias.
I feel like that's why they did it the way they did it. Because
yes.
if they sign them, they can show up. If they didn't sign them, it's fine. They didn't promise anybody.
Correct.
Maybe they're working on something and they don't have them quite signed yet. So if they do get them signed, they'll throw them in this. If they don't, who cares?
Yeah. So it's just going to be, battle royals are always fun. So that'll be fun. But the first real match of the night is, I lied. It's still pre-show. Sorry. The FTW Championship match, FTW rules, Hook versus Wheeler Yuta. And I think Hook wins, obviously.
The way you took a break between champion and ship, you said chip match. I really thought it was a chip match. Like
I did too. I was like,
what's the thing with the chips? I thought it was going to be like some chip involvement in the match.
Like
you had to grab a bag. Like you had to grab Hook's chips to win, which is awesome idea for a match. They should definitely do that.
That was me gonna change my answer, and then I decided against. I was gonna pick Wheeler Yuta.
They wrestle on a bed of chips. It's just crunch, crunch, crunch.
Hook needs to have like a specialty chip related match now. And if he can get it sponsored, more power to him.
Or just his own chip.
Yes. Like a flavor of Doritos, like Hook
like
flavor.
Hook.
It's just angry Doritos.
it's
quiet but angry. Sometimes it doesn't make any noise, but it kills you.
It's one of those hottest chip things that killed a kid. It's just a whole bag of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that. It's a whole bag of the one chip challenge.
Everybody who eats it will die.
Except Hook.
And Taz will just make like funny comments while you're dying. Like, choking Jones over here.
I love Taz. He's great. What an amazing human. Well, who's everybody else picking? I got to write this stuff down.
Hook.
Agreed.
Hook all around. Hook times 4. Sick. Also to the Stoned Cold guys, we do this every pay-per-view and then we keep score. Biddy destroys all. So just if you want,
I did it the last time.
She didn't the last time I won.
That's true.
Because I bullied her into changing one of her answers.
Yeah,
that is true.
We did.
Wasn't I like? I was also pretty drunk when we did that podcast, so I didn't even. I know, and I didn't remember what I said, so maybe I did win, and you guys just lied to me, and I didn't care enough to go back and listen.
Oh wow, jeez!
Doesn't even listen to our podcast.
Yeah, doesn't even support the show that she's on. Wow. Take the dead air. Take the dead air silence.
I had to deal with you guys once. I'm not going to put myself through it again.
Very true.
Oh, I do. It's the only podcast I regularly listen to. It's ours.
It's awesome. Oh, yeah, I don't listen to the product either. I experienced it once.
I think I'm the biggest viewer of our content also, so I feel it.
Yeah, I listen to our own podcast. Like someone has to.
It's true. I subscribe, but I don't listen.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so they added the C2 8-man tag match. First off, I think this is awesome. I thought it was a really cool way to get like a thank you to everybody involved in the C2 and get them on the pay-per-view. And there's 2 teams. It is Danielson, Claudio, Mark Briscoe, and Daniel Garcia versus Brody, Jay White, Jay Lethal, and Roosh. I have the Brody and Jay White team winning.
I have the Danielson team winning.
Okay.
I think they're gonna push the Jay White just keeps losing thing.
See, I thought they were going to push Danielson keep losing. That's why I picked the Jay White side.
I think I'm going Danielson's side.
Okay. Yeah, same.
Honestly, I see Brody and I'm winning.
Oh, okay. So is it double Josh is on the Brody side?
Yeah, for sure.
There you go. All the Joshes love Brody King.
It's very true.
I just wonder if this reignites Danielson trying to get Garcia into BCC.
Yeah, that would be good.
I hope it would. That would be very good. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I mean, granted, I guess they could do that if they win or lose, but I wonder, because Garcia's kind of just like, now that the JAS is done so.
And yeah, Daddy Manic's kind of like upset with him, so it would make sense.
That angle is so great.
It's weird, but it's great.
Yeah.
I saw this online. Does it upset anybody that it isn't gold against blue?
Oh, I mean, people online are upset, of course.
Yeah, that just bothers
people
me.
on the internet are upset. That's shocking.
Yeah.
I know.
Come on.
Can you believe it? They're usually such an upbeat group.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen an angry person on the internet.
Usually it's just everyone being happy and
peace and love. Yeah. Not just yelling and profanity. Come on.
No.
And being upset about like the smallest thing.
The absolute smallest, most insignificant things. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're letting them wear trunks during that match? Come on.
I mean, I kind of do wish it was gold versus blue. That would have made sense. But I mean, this also makes sense because it's basically the heels against the faces. So it's fine.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even look at it that way. It's good.
So how good is Danielson at just becoming a heel when he needs to be?
Oh, it's unreal. Like
his match against Eddie, like he was just the heel. Like, I mean, and it's not even out of character for him. It fits. Like he manages. He can be a face. He's. We've said this a million times. He's the greatest wrestler alive.
Yeah, 1000%. And this last year is gonna suck, but he's gonna put on some bangers. Like it's gonna suck that it's coming to an end. But
yeah, I don't think he'll ever actually stop wrestling.
No. He'll do at least a couple a year, I'm sure.
Like Danielson's version of wrestling occasionally is still like wrestling once a month.
Yeah.
You're probably right. And then
with exceedingly gruesome injuries, like he gets more and more injured and just continues. Like he's like, no, I got to keep going. Like you broke both of your legs and one arm. It's like that's okay.
Yeah,
I still have another arm. I can do it.
His injuries in the past 6 months have been absurd. Like broke his arm but finished the match, got it surgically repaired, comes back, breaks his orbital, gets it surgically repaired, just wrestles with an eye patch. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's unreal.
That eye looks brutal too.
It does.
It does.
The Brody King match where he just like went after his, like that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, because obviously he wasn't pushing as hard as it made it look like, but he was still touching it. Like it had to hurt.
Right. Like I'm sure, he wasn't like actually doing it, but still it was bad. But again, Danielson, perfect face in that match. Perfect, like underdog face, getting beaten up, managing to squeak out a victory, and then against Eddie, complete jerk, full of himself, heel, and he can do it. He can just flip back. He's so good.
He really is very versatile.
He is. Now, do you think in this last run that he's on, do you think he gets whatever Bella he's married to involved for just a match so they could wrestle together?
Maybe.
I never know if it's Brie
it's Brie.
It's Brie. Okay.
And they're Garcias now. They're not Bellas.
Yes.
Anymore. But maybe I didn't think of it, but maybe.
Like I think that'd be really cool. Husband and wife versus anybody. Who are they?
Get Beth Phoenix back with Adam Copeland and have them have a match.
Ooh, I would love to see that actually.
That would actually be really cool. Is Beth free? Is that possible? Or is she
I mean, she wrestled in WWE when he did his last run, but I mean his contract ran out, so maybe hers did too. I have no idea.
Well, that's what I was just at. Like I didn't know if she had any sort of like Legends deal or because okay. Well, we could pretend that might happen one day.
Elizabeth Firebird is coming out for any moment now. It's a good name.
That is a great name. It took me a minute. I was literally going to say, "Who the hell are you talking about?" But I get it now.
But I'm going to pat myself on the back. I just came up with that, and I'm pretty proud of it.
That was pretty good for on the fly.
That was.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
When Tony Storm, when Thunder Rosa came back, it brought me back to the Tony Rosa days when we refused to call them Thunderstorm.
Yes, because they refused to call them Thunderstorm for a while.
Right.
Like they were just calling them Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa. Like it's right there.
Yeah.
and they didn't do it.
Yeah. So we made Tony Rosa. That was such a great time. We thought it was
Thunder
fun.
Rosa changed her theme song too. Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
It doesn't have the like Thunder Rosa thing anymore.
And again, people being mad at her for being out of wrestling for a year and a half due to an injury, and then being like, "Wow, she looked a little slow." Okay, like she's been gone a year and a half
with like a broken back or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, she wasn't as fast as she was." Well, it's her first match back on live television too. It's not like there's house shows she could have got back in shape in.
I don't even think she's technically like I don't think she's like ring ready. I think they just did that because it was in Texas. They had an opportunity to have her like have a tag match in Texas, so they took it.
Yeah, and I mean, she did fine. I thought. It's just, again, the internet. Now we have the typical stupid Chris Jericho pay-per-view match, which is Sting, Darby, Jericho, and Sammy versus Ricky, Big Bill, Hobbs, and Takeshita. I think we all realize that Sting and Jericho and Darby and Sammy are going to win, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm like 99% sure there's a 1% part of me that's like, this is going to be how Sting loses, and then this is how they're going to get him in a match with Chris Jericho, and I don't want it to happen, and I don't think it will happen. But
if it happens, I'm sorry, because
you brought this into the world last week. Yeah. You said his last match would be Chris Jericho, and now it's there, and Tony Khan heard it somehow.
I know. I told you. I'm homies with Tony, man. I'm like, this will drive my buddies nuts. So
the setup for this, like, I get Kenny's hurt. I get it. Like, I understand they had to change the match. Right. And I get the Sammy Jericho stuff, even though it was rushed. Like, Sammy turned on him, joined the Don Callis family, and then immediately turned back against the Don Callis family. Yeah, but I get it. They needed a partner for Chris Jericho. Fine. But, like, you know that Simpsons episode, the Armin Tamzarian one, when they're in the car and then they're driving to get Skinner back, and they're like, why are the kids here? And they're like, oh, because they couldn't find a sitter. And why is Grandpa here? Because he couldn't be by himself. Why are Darby and Sting here?
Yeah.
Right.
Because what are they doing? Didn't they just have a match against Jericho and Sammy, like, pretty recently?
Yeah.
So what were they there for?
It made the whole segment made zero sense.
That's what I was gonna say. I was confused by the whole thing. Like, they just showed up.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Like, did I miss something? Are they mad at Don Callis for some reason?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't even say.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's called, oh, we need to put Darby and Sting in this pay-per-view. Ah, I know what to do. Throw him in with Jericho. Nothing makes sense with him anyway.
This is going to lead to Jericho versus Sting, and it makes me so mad.
Oh, it 1,000% is going to lead to that.
It makes me mad too, but are you surprised?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
But it's going to happen.
That's why I was like, that's exactly what's going to happen. Guess what? It's going to happen.
Oh, that sucks so hard.
It does. Yeah. It sucks because I can't even think of, like, oh, this person should be the last. Like, if it's not Darby, I can't even think of, like, who Sting's last opponent should be otherwise. Like, there's no other obvious option. So I'm like, I guess Jericho, but I hate it. I hate it.
It's so bad. I mean, yeah, it'll be a decent match, but I just don't think it should be Jericho.
I'm glad they put Takeshita in it, though, because when they originally mentioned it, they had Kyle Fletcher in there.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
When they first showed up the graphic, but then they put Takeshita in it. Although, where's the Don Callis family been for like a month?
I don't know. I was gonna say, unless this is like they threw them in there because of the like last second thing with Kenny, like, hey, you guys weren't doing anything. It kind of makes sense with Jericho.
Yeah, I get why. I get all of it except for why Sting and Darby are there. Like, that makes no sense at all. Right. But I get the rest of it. Like, Kenny got hurt. They didn't expect any of that. But it doesn't mean I like it.
Oh, well, yeah.
If Sting loses, I'm gonna freak out.
Oh, if Sting loses, that's awful.
That would not be very nice.
Yeah, like, you just can't have that. Unless it would be like MJF beating Sting. I would accept that.
I mean, if Sting loses in this match, I'll lose my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like, I thought you meant his last one.
Yeah. No, like, if this is how Sting loses, like if Jericho gets pinned or something, and this is how Sting loses, I'm gonna lose it.
Oh no! See, if Jericho gets pinned, that doesn't count.
It does though. It'll.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I got you.
Let's move on before I get angry.
I was just gonna say, before we start going nuts here. I have a theory on this next match: Miro versus Andrade.
Meat.
It'll be fun.
Meat.
Very
It'll be
true.
fun.
It's go. Oh,
I think
Go
CJ's still out, right? She had like that really disgusting finger injury.
yes.
She probably won't be there. That was disgusting. I don't know if anyone, if
gnarly.
you haven't seen it and you want to see something really horrifying, go look at her photos on Instagram. It's disgusting.
Not for people with weak stomachs.
Yeah, like that had to be MRSA. That was gross.
I don't know how you got that from like a splinter, but she must have touched something horribly disgusting to get that.
Maybe she doesn't wash her hands after she poos.
or like wrestlers are just gross.
Yeah, she stuck her boo boo finger in like Miro's armpit or something and almost died.
Her boo boo finger. Anyways, I picked Andrade.
I'm gonna pick Miro. I think that I don't know. They both kind of need a win. They both kind of don't want to be here from how it seems, but Miro is more likely to want to stay because his wife also works there. So I'm gonna go Miro.
I'm going Miro.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah, Miro too.
Oh, okay. Everyone else. See, just straight EV for everyone. Okay. Wow. See, I think Andrade's going to win. I think I'm the only person that thinks he's going to resign too.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. No.
Flair's here now, so maybe. But I think Charlotte resigned for like all the money. So I can see him going back to there. And go for it. That's
I mean,
fine.
and to be fair, I'd rather hang out with Charlotte than Ric Flair.
Oh, I'd rather hang out with almost anyone on earth.
I'd rather,
Very fair point.
Yeah, I'd rather hang out with like an empty Coke can. I mean,
it's not gonna like assault you in any way or like
that's true.
Get you in legal trouble.
You don't have to see it to the helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah, don't have to see the helicopter. Won't ask you for money. It's
rarely hits on like underage girls.
Yeah, probably pays its taxes. Anyways, moving right along, Swerve versus Keith Lee.
The hottest feud of December 2022.
You know what? They came back to it out of nowhere.
But you know, like I looked it up. When Swerve broke the cinder block on his chest was December 2022. It was a year ago.
Wow, it didn't seem like it.
And yeah. I like how they're talking about it without mentioning Tattooed Face Man. They're just like, Miro, Swerve and his associates, we're going to pretend that they're the same associates that he's with now, not those other guys. They had nothing to do with it.
Not the guys that everyone hated.
That was so bizarre.
It was.
I guess.
They just brought in that guy with tattoos over his face, never told you his name.
And then he disappeared.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, was it a fever dream?
Like, I don't know what they saw in that person. Like,
I mean, he looked menacing.
Tattoos. If
you want to get someone who looks menacing, like he looked scary. You saw that guy, you would be scared.
I thought he looked like an idiot. Like the furthest thing from scared I saw him. Like, he looked like an idiot. Like, I mean,
his name was Trench. That's what it was. We just refused to call him that.
Yeah, what was it? Trench?
It was Trench. For some reason.
Like that's where they dug him out of.
They buried him back afterwards.
Yeah. Wow, that dude sucked. Anyways, I picked Swerve.
I mean, it kind of has to be Swerve because he's getting a well-deserved push right now. But it seems weird to like have Keith Lee be attacked by his guys, forget about it for an entire year, have Keith Lee come back for revenge, and then immediately lose. Like it seems odd.
The whole thing is odd.
But that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Swerve.
Yeah, it's going to be Swerve.
I agree with that as well.
It better be Swerve.
Oh, well, there you go. It's all around.
If Swerve won, but it's because they bring back Tattoo Face Man to save him. Is that a good ending or a bad ending?
Nope, that just makes it even more bizarre and weird.
Yeah.
Which actually, it sounds right on brand.
This match, along with the Mox Eddie Kingston thing we'll talk about later, it really seems like Tony Khan woke up and was like, oh man, I didn't finish those stories. Oh damn. Okay, quick, put them on pay-per-view.
But then he got on the internet, as he does, and saw people complaining that he doesn't finish stories, and he's like, My goodness, they're right. Let's finish them all at once.
I mean, at least he did, I guess. It's better than not.
True.
It's weird.
But I mean, obviously, like you guys said, like Swerve has all the momentum in the world. It like has to be him. But if it wasn't, I mean, what's that going to do for Keith Lee? Like, does it really help him?
I mean, if he beats Swerve, it does help him, but I don't think they're going to push Keith Lee like that.
But I was going to say help him for what?
That's what I was. Yeah, like what though? Other than just beating Swerve, because like, not. I mean, Swerve's hot right now, but Swerve doesn't have a belt. He doesn't. He's kind of in the world title picture, but not officially yet.
Are they gonna do the WWE-ish thing where like a guy gets really hot and then they have him lose right before he wins the title so that he has adversity? WWE does that all the time. Like a guy's getting really hot, and right before he wins the big thing, like whenever someone has like a Money in the Bank cash in, like Seth Rollins when he cashed in at WrestleMania, they had him lose that match to Randy Orton earlier in the night, so that it's like, oh, he's not, he didn't just waltz into the world title. He had some struggles getting there. Are they gonna WWE Swerve?
I hope not, because that's pretty dumb. But
yeah.
But I mean, I understand why it works, but I just think it's dumb.
I mean, storyline wise, Keith Lee winning makes sense because he's the one who got beat up by a gang and had his chest caved in with a cinder block. And then it seems weird for him to bring that back after a year and then just immediately lose to Swerve.
Right. Unless this is the start of like they're going to give them a whole feud, and this is like the start of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I never thought.
Yeah,
of that.
he needs to do something because I don't think he's winning the world title like right now.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah,
well.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah. Everyone was Swerve, so sounds good. First championship of the night, the TBS championship. We have Julia Hart, who's the champion, versus Abaddon. I mean, I think everybody is going to pick Julia.
Got to be Julia Hart.
Yeah.
I would like to see Abaddon with the title, but I definitely don't think she's going to win.
Yeah,
I agree, but
I would
Or
break crap
today,
myself
I
if she
believe.
won.
I don't think Abaddon wins. They're like, people like them, but they're not. Yeah.
Is this
No.
the first pay-per-view they're on?
I think so.
No,
Maybe one of the early ones.
yeah, I think the first All In.
Oh,
They
wow.
were there.
They've been there that long.
Maybe
Oh
one of
yeah,
I feel like,
an original.
I feel like Abaddon
quite
might have been
original.
on one of the early ones, but
But I'm looking it
not
up
wow.
right now.
For a while it was just like around Halloween every year they'd bring out Abaddon and they'd have a match. But
They were on All Out 2021.
oh, there you go.
It was a casino battle royale.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I thought
there
it
you
was
go.
something like that.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
it. So this is,
I mean, I like the push. I like Abaddon. I like
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're on
yeah,
TV.
it kind of
It's been
came
pretty
out of
cool.
nowhere. But
It
I'm
looked
down with
like
it.
the typical Halloween thing, right? Like they're gonna put them on for
Mhm.
Halloween and then
Mhm.
fade away again. But no, I liked it, but I don't think Abaddon wins.
No.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, now right, we're getting to the meat and potatoes here. We have the TNT Championship match, no disqualification. Christian's your champion versus Adam Copeland. I have a theory, so
It's a
I'll let
tough
all
one.
you guys pick.
I just want to say I love that faces continue to be really dumb because Adam Copeland lost his match because someone interfered and cost him the match. So he's come up with a match where they can easily interfere without being disqualified.
That's a very good point.
that is a
Yeah.
very good observation.
He's like, well, Christian has all these guys with him. You know what I'm going to do? Make it so they can just freely attack me. Like I thought it was going to be like a cage match or something. He's like, oh, you can't have your
Right.
But no, we're just going to make it so like if Luchasaurus or Killswitch wants to choke slam me, he's fully allowed to.
So who's everybody have?
Pass. Get back to me.
Oh, pass.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
It's 100% Christian. They're going to drag this out as long as they can.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. You can't just I agree.
I'm leaning towards Christian, but it's a tough one. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
Adam Copeland won. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Christian.
I could see some shenanigans where Copeland ends up winning, but I think I'm gonna have to go Christian too.
See, I'm also going to pick Christian. And this is my theory. I think this is Adam's like, you know what? This is your time. I know I'm here, and of course they're going to put us together because why don't you? But this is yours. You build it. You beat me. Like, it's going to be clean, no shenanigans, and he's going to get the clean win, and that's how they're going to get him back together.
I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that would look really bad if Adam
Yeah.
Copeland showed up and just immediately beat Christian and took his title.
Right.
It would look bad.
It's going to be the, hey, in WWE, they gave me everything. You know what? You were here
Vince McMahon
first.
didn't like what your face looked like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He thought you had a dumb face, so he buried you for 20 years.
Apparently, that's true.
I'm not surprised. I mean, Vince is the most sane human being on the face of the earth, right? He's not a crazy person.
No, not at all. He doesn't just randomly pick one thing that he hates about someone and then just that's makes him against them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, forever. There's no getting back. It's like, oh, he has all them teeth in his mouth. I hate
He
him.
sneezed near me.
Yeah.
I think Blasco, you said once that someone probably used like a black pen instead of a blue pen once in front of him, and now he's hated that person for life. And I fully believe that happened. Like at some point, someone signed a contract in black pen, and he was like, "Contractor signed in blue pen, damn it!" And then now hates them.
Yeah, and it was like someone like Lex Luger, like just someone that never got up.
Because he's an insane person. So.
Right. Like, nope, that's it. He signed his fate that day. That was it.
Signed it in black ink.
Never again.
Yeah, okay, Christian makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tangents here, but I'm enjoying them.
Oh yeah, this is fun, man. Now this one, I don't know, it can go either way. We have the AEW Women's World Championship, Toni Storm versus Riho. I think Toni retains because she's too hot right now.
Yeah, it has to be Toni. Toni's like
agreed.
They wouldn't give her the belt just to have her lose it.
True.
Didn't they do that once though?
Yeah, but now she's like soup. Now she's like she's great now. She's always been great, but she's even better now. Like I love this. Keep it going.
Yeah,
just put her on commentary too, because why not? She's great at that too.
She is.
Yeah, I love when she's on commentary.
It's so good. So is that in everyone?
In Tony for sure, yeah.
Oh, everyone again. Man, this one's not this paper's not gonna be any fun.
Well, no, if Miro loses, you've won, Blasco.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
There was one other too.
There was one other one we were different on. Oh, the Brody Lee, the Brody King.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the world title is going to be different too. Same with the C2. Okay, so we'll move on. So we have the C2 final, Mox versus Eddie. I think the ending of this match tells us who wins the main event because they're not going to give two New York people back-to-back hometown wins. So
okay, I didn't even think of that, but yeah.
So if Eddie wins the C2, Samoa Joe wins the world title. But if Mox wins the C2, MJF wins. MJF retains.
Yeah.
So I picked Eddie.
I think it has to be Eddie.
I'm thinking Eddie.
If it's not Eddie, my head will explode.
I'll be actively upset. Yeah.
Well, Eddie never beat Jericho, and we were damn sure that was going to happen.
I'm still mad at that, by the way.
I know.
That's part of the reasons I think I'm still mad at Jericho today.
Yeah. So I mean, there is that chance.
I feel like Mox is going to want Eddie to win too. So
yeah.
That is a great point. Oh man. The C2 has just been fantastic.
It's been wonderful.
I really hope we get a women's C2, and I hope they offset too. I know we talked about that last week, but if they do a women's, I hope they do it like in 6 months from now.
Yeah, but honestly, look at like the Andrade match. Like if it had been Miro versus Andrade and there'd been no C2, we wouldn't care about that match really.
True.
If it had been Eddie probably wouldn't be in a match with John Moxley right now if it wasn't for the C2. Like they would have just put him in some random match with somebody.
True.
Like they built him up through that. Like that tournament was great.
It was. And I didn't expect it to be as great as it was. Like I was like, oh cool, another tournament. But
I thought there'd be good wrestling in it, but
right.
I didn't necessarily think it would be like they had storylines going through it, they had like emotion going through it. That for everyone who thinks that like you can't book, stories or tell stories or have emotion built through stuff that happens in the ring versus segments, Like this kind of proved them all wrong because they haven't really had any segments, but it's built so many stories.
And they all make perfect sense. Like there's not any sort of questioning like, oh, that's kind of like, I don't know if I'm buying into that. Like everything coming out of the C2 is like, oh yeah, that's natural progression.
And so many people look good coming out of it. Like Brody King looks good, Eddie looks good, Swerve looks good, Jay White looks good. Like it's been great.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'd never really watched the like weekly television consistently from AEW until the C2, but it's got me watching every show now.
That's great. What were you guys' thoughts on the C2? Obviously, Austin, you said that was awesome, but continue.
Yeah, it's got me so interested in it, and it's like turned me on to more wrestlers too, like ones I didn't previously enjoy, but such as like Jay White. Like I knew he was really good in Japan, but I hadn't seen much of his work. Now he's honestly, in my mind, one of the best workers in the company.
Oh, he's so good.
He is.
And it's really showcased people though. Like it really has.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just been awesome. It's like sad that it's over now. Like,
it kind of is because like. Yeah, but it's been great. I love it. I hope there is a women's one. I hope it's like in the spring or something, and they do it. Yeah. There's no other tournaments going on.
And like, if this is the direction that, I mean, they basically announced it that AEW is going to be more quote unquote real sport based, less sports entertainment, more wrestling based. And I mean, there's nothing better than this tournament for that. I mean, that just showed. I mean, Danielson's chest last night looked gross.
Yep.
Go ahead, whoever I cut off. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said yup.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like that was gnarly, and it's just been hard hitting and brutal, and just so good. Anyways, our main event. I'm sure we're going to talk about this for a long time because we got a bunch of shenanigans that can go down. MJF, who is our champion, versus Samoa Joe. And before we even get started, do we find out who the devil is?
Yeah,
I think we have to, 100%.
I think we get a hint, but I think, like I said last pay-per-view, I think they don't tell you who the devil is, but like the devil, something becomes known of the devil, and then we find out on Wednesday. They want you to watch Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
That's actually a fair point. I feel like that could happen.
So you're going to play the ratings card. You're going to get the people to buy the pay-per-view thinking they're going to get the devil, and then you throw them the curveball so you watch the TV show. It's good.
I think you have to give them something. I think like somebody has to be revealed or something about the devil has to be revealed, and then you're going to find out more on Wednesday.
Yeah, maybe like the henchmen get revealed or something at the pay-per-view.
I'm very surprised nobody has had their mask ripped off yet, even if it was like a minor player. Oh, sorry, Biddy.
Sean Spears did say he was one of the henchmen.
Yeah, I heard that. I saw that today.
Oh.
Not that it really matters now. But...
I mean, that's another interesting point, though. Like when they first attacked Jay White, there was the devil and 4 people, right?
Correct.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
But then, like a couple weeks ago, there was like 10 of them. So, but just fine. Like if they're like hired goons or whatever, that's perfectly fine. Do you think that there's going to be 10 of them, or is it going to be like 4 or 5 people?
It's going to not be that many.
Well, here's my shenanigans call. Rick, it has changed since the Undisputed Kingdom. I think it is going to be a full-blown Bullet Club war because Adam Cole is also in Bullet Club, which I totally forgot about. Yeah. So that'll get Adam Cole back on TV. That'll get the Bucks back on TV. Then you have the whole Jay White side with Bullet Club Gold because they claimed that they were thrown out. Well, Jay White was thrown out. So then you're going to have the 2 factions and the New Japan people. I mean, you could bring people back and forth. I think it's going to be a full-blown Bullet Club civil war.
So then who's the devil?
It's Adam Cole.
All right.
And he's bringing Bullet Club in. Like,
it would be cool if it involved the Bucks, just because they should be doing something.
Right.
But I think it's Adam Cole and Roderick Strong in the Kingdom, and maybe Britt. That would be fun. But I think that's who it is.
I mean, I think they're all involved, but I think it's going to be a Bullet Club thing as instead of how I said it was going to be a Kingdom Ring of Honor thing. Like I think
I'm also torn on who the devil actually is, though. If it's Adam Cole or if it's Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong kind of like goaded Adam Cole into this, or is Adam Cole the one behind it? That's the only thing I'm not sure.
Oh man, I never thought of that. If
I kind of have like an opposite theory. I feel like my theory is Roddy has nothing to do with it, and this is like going to shatter his image of Adam, and that sets up like a feud for them.
Oh, that'd be good too.
That would be awesome.
That's a good theory.
That's wonderful. Never thought of that. That's sick.
See, I'm still interested in this. I know a lot of people online were like, "Oh, this has been dragging on forever." First of all, it's been like 3 months, so calm down, everybody. Second of all, I don't think it's been dragging on. I think that there's a risk that no matter who it is, it's going to be a disappointment, just because everybody wants like a crazy surprise. You want it to be like when we thought it might be CM Punk, like that would have been a really cool surprise. But I don't think it's going to be like bad. I think unless it's like Tony Khan or something like that.
That'd be sick.
But if it is Tony Khan, he has to do the Vince McMahon pull off the hood. It was me, Maxwell. And you need a JR who wasn't on the rest of the show just to come in and go, damn it!
Yeah. Why, Tony? Why?
Damn him down! Oh my God. If it's gonna be Tony Khan, that's how you have to do it.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But no, I hope it's not Tony Khan.
Yeah, me too.
I hope it's like I was when we were talking about it before, like I thought there's a chance it was Sean Spears, and like that would make sense. But then I'd be like, you can't have Sean Spears be the devil. Like he's not important enough. Like no offense to Sean Spears,
right?
But that would be disappointing.
True.
Do you think Wardlow's involved? Because he's been, or I think he's uninvolved. I think he's been like he's going to attack MJF on his own. I don't think he's a part of this.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do. I still swear one of those dudes looks like Parker Bordeaux or Boudreaux, whatever his last name is. He has like the same stance as him, but
I think they might have used some other people. I don't know if people who are wearing the masks are the people who are going to be revealed.
That's what I'm thinking.
True too.
I feel like they're just using people under the mask, and it's going to be other people they reveal.
Well, that's a great like swerve. Like if someone would notice, like I don't know, like didn't somebody have a picture of someone's wrestling boots, and they're like, oh look, it must be Wardlow. Oh, there you go.
I saw people comparing like people's shoulder shapes and everything the other day.
I would really love the devil to like before they're unmasked to be like some like 6'5", 300-pound guy, and then pull off the mask and it's like Riho. And you're just like, that's how, I don't know, don't try to figure out how that happened, but it's Riho.
Dress up Satnam Singh, and then he goes to pull the mask off, and it's Riho.
The mask and it's Riho. That would be outstanding. Or vice versa. Have Riho pull off a mask with Satnam Singh.
That would be amazing. Oh, on every level, that would be incredible. That's like Simpsons level great.
But if we're picking matches, this is tough because it's in MJF's hometown. And AEW tends to not job people out in their hometowns. Like WWE's favorite thing to do is to make you make fun of your family and friends.
Yeah, of course.
But they don't, like AEW tends not to do that. So I really want it to be MJF who wins. I'm going to go with MJF because there's been a whole thing that we'll talk about it a bit more after this, I'm assuming. But like the thing he did in the Players Tribune today where he was like saying how injured he is and beaten up he is. Which makes you think, oh, if he really is that injured, he's going to lose. He's going to get like, the devil people are going to attack him. Joe's going to win the title and he's going to be written off TV for a few months so he can heal up. What I'm thinking is he wins. And I think that this is the end of the Bidding War 2024 storyline. He wins. He tells his hometown crowd, I re-signed with AEW for 5 more years or whatever. And everyone loves him. And then maybe the devil attacks him and beats him up. But I think he wins the belt. I think he retains the belt.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think they want to give him his moment in front of his. I mean, he's already had his moment in front of his hometown fans, but I think they want to do it with him as champion. I think he's been there. He's been through a lot. I think they're going to give him that.
Well, see, that's why I said the Mox versus Eddie match. The ending of that will tell us who wins the main event. Because if it's Mox, it's definitely MJF winning. Because one of those is going to get the hometown treatment. They're not going to give it to both.
See, Eddie's he's not from Long Island, though. He's from Queens.
He's from Yonkers.
Right, but when you're from New York, you could live in...
I'm pretty sure if you told Eddie he's from Long Island, he would punch you in the face.
I didn't say Long Island. I said from New York. New Yorkers are just, if you're from New York,
they're very borough specific.
Yeah, no, they're like upstate's very... If you're from upstate New York, you might as well be from like New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Right, but they're still
New
Yorkers.
To the New Yorkers.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. They're not going to give both of those guys the hometown. Come on, it's a pay-per-view. Eddie's whole family's going to be there.
Yeah, I feel like the pop they would get from Eddie would be bigger than MJF winning again.
I agree.
That could be too.
Everybody loves him.
It's true. I mean, I love Eddie. Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone's picks. I picked. Come on, guys.
I picked Joe.
All right.
I think I'm going to second you with MJF winning, though. Despite what I just said.
Okay, that's an Austin.
I've been thinking about this all day, actually, especially after reading that article. It almost sounds like he's going to lose the title, take some time off, keep that, am I going to go to WWE thing, like rolling longer, and then he'll come back to a giant pop and re-sign with AEW. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick Joe.
Yeah, Team Joe.
I completely agree with what you just said. I don't think he was BSing in that interview. I think he's banged up. He's losing that title. It's going to be a quick match. The henchman's going to get involved. He's gone for.
Oh, you think quick match?
Yeah, quick match.
Ooh. I mean, if he actually is hurt, yeah, that would make sense.
I think it's just going to be a quick match. I think Wednesday night kind of proved that was just. I don't think he can go a full 20-minute banger with Joe, especially right now.
Good point.
Well, and what I can see happening then is, okay, he drops the title, he takes time off to heal and stuff, depending on his injuries. That would bring him and Cole back at the same time.
Yep.
And then just imagine the pop when they both show up, in a month and a half, 2 months or something.
See, I feel like MJF is always towing the line between real life and not real life, and always kind of in character, always kind of working. Like he's done a great job of like blending his own personal life with his character story and all that.
Oh, for sure.
And it makes me think that this article came out the day before the pay-per-view, saying all the stuff that it said because he's going to win, and they want you to think he's going to lose.
I mean, I could see that too. It makes perfect sense either way.
Because it seems weird to bring this article out the day before the pay-per-view and be like, I'm really hurt, and I might, because that doesn't that kind of just give away the main event. Why would they do that? Why would they not release it, the day after or something, right? Like it's weird.
True. And then there's the old the double swerve. What if MJF really is the devil and he did all this on purpose, like storyline wise, obviously, and to screw Joe?
Yeah.
Like Joe, quote unquote, paid all the money. It was great doing business with him and blah, blah, blah. And then you bit the bait, or whatever. And then he could come back as heel MJF and be like, guess what? Your scumbag signed for the next 5 years. And then obviously monster heel instantly because he was the devil. He screwed, everybody over. I
love just we've all given our ideas of what we think can happen, and they all make perfect sense, and I like all of them. And I love that. I love that, like, any of these things could happen and it would be good, and I'd enjoy it, and I would be entertained by it, and it would make sense. And like, I don't know. It's the internet's mad all the time, right? But they seem especially mad about this devil storyline. Everyone's just like, it's run its course, it's jumped the shark.
Which is hilarious because so many people complain that AEW doesn't know how to do storylines. They're just, blah, blah, blah. Things are just thrown together.
After banger. It's no stories. Yeah, but
which has a point. But then now you have a long storyline and they're complaining. Nothing AEW does is going to make some people happy.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I agree.
That's a great point.
I mean, MJ even addressed that in his thing today, right? That like some people are always going to be mad at them and want them to fail for whatever bizarre reason. Like, I get if you don't like the shows, but I totally get it. Right. If you just aren't entertained by the television, that's fine. Don't watch. You don't have to. But I don't understand people who are like actively mad at it. Just don't watch it. Like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it.
It's the tribalism of everything.
Mm-hmm. I don't particularly like WWE. I just don't watch it. And it's fine.
And it just doesn't it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't sit here and be like, man, I hate it so bad. I'm just beating my head off the wall. It's like, no, I'm like, man, that stuff, I don't know how people watch it. It looks like it sucks to me. And my day keeps
and you just
going.
don't watch it. You move on with your life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that with everything. People feel so brand loyal to everything.
But I feel like there's a difference between being brand loyal, like going, I love AEW. I mean, CM Punk got a tattoo of Pepsi on his arm. He loves Pepsi, but he's not walking out every day being like, by the way, Coke sucks. Did you know it sucks? Like, no. You can be loyal to a thing, and you can love that thing, and you can like it, and like you don't have to think the other thing is like you want them out of business. Like that's insane. That's weird to me. Like I don't get it. Like you go, I know it's Twitter or whatever, X. But like you'll see people writing, someone will write something like that what's it called? That account, WrestleTix, that tracks like how many tickets are sold for things.
Right.
Like if AEW doesn't do well, there's a bunch of people in the comments being like, yeah, good, it's gonna fold soon. I'm like, why do you care? Like, why do you care? Just don't watch the show. Just don't watch it.
Because they're programmed. They have that WWE brain. It's all they've ever watched.
But you can just keep doing that. Like, you can just ignore that they exist. Like it doesn't matter.
I agree, but whatever.
Well, when you don't have much going on in your sad, pathetic life, this is what you latch onto and feel the need to, get in internet fist fights.
There's Hillbitty.
There you go.
Telling people they don't have friends.
That sounds like an MJF comment. Like you came out being all happy, and then, by the way, if your life is sad and pathetic.
Yeah, if you had
I'm not wrong. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
That was sick.
That article by MJF was incredible, though. It was great.
It was. It really was.
If you haven't read it, read it. It's in the Players Tribune. It's really good.
It just showed his passion, you saw how intelligent he was. I mean, like you said, Rick, you could tell literally sentence by sentence him coming in and out of character.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
He's brilliant at it. Like he's so good at it.
It was literally like one sentence could be like, oh, you guys literally have no idea how banged up I am. And then what he say, like, man, Eddie Kingston's a bomb. Like, yeah, it was like just so awesome.
I'm sure it probably messes with his brain or his personal life, but like there's no division for him between MJF the character and Max Friedman the person. They kind of just flow back and forth.
True.
Like it's great. Like like I said, it might screw him up long term, but it's great television.
And wrestling is just that weird business where, like, in a new Billy Starks interview, she was just talking about, like, she's like, yeah, I gave up my childhood because I love professional wrestling. And I'm like, people in professional wrestling are just like willing to do whatever.
But that's the other thing, like with characters, like there's no actor that I know of who like their name is John Smith and they play a character on a TV show named William Jones and they want you to call them William Jones in their personal life and like blend the character on their TV show with their own life. And William Jones doesn't like pickles, so I won't eat them in my real life. Like that doesn't happen in the rest of entertainment, but it happens in wrestling. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I've yet to see a wrestler who like is Adam Copeland at home and is a guy from Toronto who has a wife and kids, and then his wrestling character is Edge, who's from Spain and is a single bachelor. Like that doesn't happen, right? They don't do that.
Right.
It's weird.
That is.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's a such thing as like method actors in Hollywood, like, but they only do that while they're on set. Like they don't go home and like, I'm still Jiminy Cricket and like run around their kitchen. Like, no.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it is
weird
that wrestlers
this MJF
do
thing
that.
is, I don't know how anyone else could read, like people have been reading this MJF thing and being like, oh, he's talking about his contract runs out and he's beaten up. He's going to WWE. Like, I don't get how you could say that, because if you read this article, he just takes random shots at WWE throughout the article. Like, I don't know. And Punk, which is great.
Yeah, those were so great.
Punk leaving, like, I'm not going to go into a thing on Punk. Punk leaving screwed MJF possibly the most because he had a storyline coming up with Punk. He had basically the whole devil thing comes from his feud with CM Punk. Like Punk not being there kind of screws his character and his storyline a significant amount. He's worked around it, but it does really screw him.
True. And you saw in the article the animosity that he has. I mean, what did he say? Something about the old guy eating muffins?
Yeah.
That was so good.
I have to find the line now. Here.
Oh, okay.
Talking about, it's weird. During my time in AEW, I've had the highest highs, so high they're untouchable to anyone else in this business. But I've also had the lowest lows, so low with such stupid bad timing. I honestly think I'm cursed. Then we go through a little bit. But every time I do something great, let's have this other dude, note, who I wish the best, eats an effing muffin, or or then gets injured, or let's have someone else do something else dumb.
Da da da.
Who was the guy who ate muffins and got injured?
I have no idea.
Involved with MJF? It was Jungle Boy.
Yeah, something.
Well, then he said something else about Wembley and how once again backstage.
Oh yeah,
or whatever
shenanigans.
Yeah. There was a lot of not so veiled shots at CM Punk in this. There was a lot but how do you look at this and think that he's gonna go
right
to WWE? I mean, he might go to WWE. They might give him $1 billion and promise him 18 titles, and that's fine. If that's what he does, go ahead, because no one's offering me $1 billion to wrestle. If someone is, take it.
I'd go to WWE right now for $1 billion.
Right.
And I just talked shit on him 10 seconds ago.
And go for it. Go for it. More power to you.
Right.
But he says things like, I'll take this any day compared to the other way it's been done in the business historically, which is they place you gently in the shallow end, floaties on. No, actually, you can't take them off. It's a rule. And you never get over it because you look ridiculous with floaties on. But you didn't sing, so that's good. Oh, by the way, you're fired.
Genius. I love it.
It was great. I hope he wins. I just hope he wins, just because I love his character. I think it'd be really cool for him to get to win in his hometown. I totally get if he doesn't, if he's injured and taking time off, to have him lose.
Yeah,
but it would be really cool.
Agreed. And he's over a year as champion, correct?
Yeah, Full Gear last year. So yeah.
Okay, so he holds the record. I mean, there really is no reason for him to win, but
no.
I get both ways though. I still pick Joe.
Makes sense.
Not changing my answer.
Makes sense. So I feel like I'm the only one talking on this podcast.
No, you're good.
We have guests. Feel free.
Good guests.
I talked. Oh.
Jeez, wow. Kill Biddy showed up again.
Yeah, I came in originally thinking that Joe would win it, but the combination of the article and what you were saying, Rick, kind of swayed me the other way. Now I'm kind of pulling for MJF.
Oh, he has that effect on swaying you.
No, it's Joe.
Yeah, I agree. It's Joe. It has to be Joe. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
It's weird because I came into this podcast being like, another pay-per-view, and now I'm very excited.
Same, honest.
Yeah. What is what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about the pay-per-view.
Use your words, baby.
Damn it, Tony Khan. How did you do this?
I forget
Every
what I was
time.
gonna say.
Every time I'm I'm bored with this show.
Remember, we were just all out. We were like, well, what's even the point? And it ended up being a freaking banger.
Yeah, it was great. AEW does not miss with their pay-per-views. They don't. It's going to be great.
Yes, that is very true. Okay.
Even their worst pay-per-views are still very good.
True. Someone posted somewhere basically what you just said, and they couldn't understand how it doesn't transition to television every week. And I'm like, well, because it's hard. Your pay-per-view is your crescendo, or at least semi. It doesn't have to be the end of every story, but you're at a pay-per-view, those are all your payoffs, or a majority of your payoffs.
Yeah, you can't have constant build.
Yeah,
constant payoff. It has to come down sometimes.
Yeah, and you have to have the other things. You have to have comedy relief on a normal show. You have to have something for everybody, because you're trying your normal TV shows to get viewers, not you got to suffice to your fans too, but I don't know.
I think it was Simon from What Culture who said something similar, that you can go all in on one thing and be a whole comedy show, a whole sports entertainment show, a whole wrestling show, and you're going to alienate people. You could just decide I'm willing to do that.
Right.
Or you can say, I'm going to try to cater to my existing fan base and build on new fans, which, to me makes a lot of sense.
And yeah, I think that's their business model per se, but I see how people could feel alienated by not getting what they want.
I agree. But it's like with Kenny Omega when he was wrestling more full time, and you'd be like, oh, he had like an okay match on Dynamo. Remember matches he had in New Japan with like Okada? Those were incredible, and they were. And I've even been guilty of it, being like, why can't we just have constant Kenny Omega bangers because he's so good? But like that's hard, right?
Yeah.
Like doing that is hard. So I get it. Like you can't go 100% every single time.
And what these guys do, and girls,
Bryan Danielson.
Like, unless you're Bryan Danielson, like he's the anomaly. He could like wrestle for like he could have the only match on the pay-per-view. It's 1 4.5 hour match. And it'd be awesome.
Also, I saw someone point out Mox hasn't bled in the C2 at all. Is he saving up all his bleeding for Eddie Kingston?
Probably.
They're gonna bleed so much on each other.
Have they like? Oh, it's gonna be awesome. They've kind of not told us like the rules on. Is it just like? Is it a no DQ match? Like, or is it just
a regular match?
No, is there a time limit?
I mean, it would make sense because it's C2, but like they said in the semifinals matches, there was no time limit. So
because there had to be a winner.
Because there had to be a winner. So I feel like there's no time limit on this.
Okay, so if there has to be a winner, that means no DQ then?
No, because that would be a winner.
Okay, well, those matches, the semifinals were no DQ, obviously, because I mean Jay White carried a chair around.
But that was a triple threat match. Triple threat match.
No, that's true.
DQ
good call.
By default.
Good call.
So, while we're here, everyone pick a match of the night. Go around, pick what you think will be the best match of the night.
I'm gonna say the C2 final. Boom.
I agree with that.
I think I agree too.
I'm actually gonna say probably Swerve and Keith Lee. We're going a different direction.
Okay.
That'll be good.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be a great match. Biddy?
One that I think is going to be a lot better than anyone's given it credit for is Miro and Andrade.
Andrade? Yeah, he's pretty good.
Or what I say?
Andrade?
I think you said Andre the Giant.
No. How do you say
it? Match?
Andrade, my bad.
No, it was just you turned his name into a verb. He got Andre.
Like you couldn't let it slide. You had to play that.
No, it's I had a friend who had that last name and it was said Andrade. And so that's every time I see his name it comes out like that.
You reminded me of Kevin Kelly who just can't say El Idolo.
At least I'm not getting paid for it.
And I don't think he still does it, but like the first couple episodes of Collision, he would just say it differently.
Yeah, every time.
Trying to get it right, but he would always be wrong.
And the thing that was funny is like there's a producer in his ear just be like, it's Andrade El Idolo. And he'd be like, it's Andrade El Idolo.
Yeah. and then later he'd be like, El Idolo.
Yeah, like just tell the poor guy he's drowning out there.
But I think you're right, Benny. That's going to be much better than anyone expects it to be. It's going to be it'll be a sleeper match for sure.
That's the one where I could see being like, oh my God, I can't believe how good that was.
I mean, like Miro and Hobbs was like excellent match.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was. Now, do you think? I mean, obviously, CJ is probably not going to be there, but do you think Miro has it brings down a woman to make her jealous as his manager?
Nah.
If she's there,
fun.
I'm saying, okay, yeah, but I don't think she'll be there.
No. Why does Miro always seem to get into angles where he's like his wife is with another man?
I mean, he must be down with it because he wouldn't agree to do that.
I feel like it must be a thing for him. Like this must turn him on or something.
No!
I was going to say, is this a kink of theirs? I don't like this anymore.
It could be.
I didn't consent to this.
It could be.
Sorry for taking things in that direction.
I mean, we were all thinking it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Biddy, you have an eye for this. What's going on there? You're in the
because
industry.
of her job, not because of her weird kinks.
Yeah. Well,
you have to clarify that.
Yeah.
No, but that even makes it sound like, what am I doing in my life?
That's even better.
Right.
Oh,
Can't help.
Let's not clarify. Let's just move on.
Yep. Yeah, they'll never know. Well, that's the whole card. Does anybody else have anything? Anybody else want to say anything?
No.
Does anybody else want to plug anything?
Like maybe a podcast you have.
Yeah. Oh, the shows that you do.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel where on Mondays we have Monday Melee and play video games against each other, and on Fridays Saturday. Sorry, I don't even know our own schedule. But
nice.
We have a Saturday Smokedown where we kind of do like a trivia game back and forth, and the winner walks away with the SCW title.
That's incredible. Nice. Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube at Stone Cold WN.
Okay. I already subscribe. I don't know about my compadres.
I don't use YouTube.
Oh, see,
I'll do it soon.
Fair enough.
Wait to shut him down, Biddy.
I'm kidding.
Diminish YouTube.
I don't use YouTube.
No,
it's half of my work.
I don't use the internet at all, guys.
It's literally half of my work. That's why it was.
I've never been on this internet.
What is the internet?
Yeah, we call Biddy on her house phone.
She's a landline. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on a CB radio, one hand and the landline on the other.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you could find us anywhere you have your podcast listening devices.
Anywhere you have your podcast listening devices.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going because
we're 1,000,005 years old. So if you have one of those podcast listening devices,
if you have one of them iPads, one of them iPods.
I'm looking at the pizza that's staring back at me.
Turn the dial over to podcasts.
Yeah. Come on. Hey. I'm
looking at this. Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year. I'm looking at this pizza that's looking at me. So we are wherever you get your podcasts at.
Yes. Rate, share, subscribe. Like their YouTube channel too.
Yes.
Why not?
Everyone subscribe to them too.
Yes.
And we are at Elite City Pod everywhere. So on that note, everybody, have a great New Year. And if you watch the pay-per-view tomorrow, have fun. Play along with us. And until next week, later.